On a stormy, snow-lashed night, Lila, an abandoned mixed-blood young girl, finally found her biological father, Silas, the alpha of the Iron Moon Wolf Pack. Yet instead of familial affection, she was met with humiliation and rejection. To survive, she sneaked into the wolf pack's territory, only to be drawn into one deadly conspiracy after another. Lila had to grip her bone blade tightly, struggling to survive amid bloodshed and betrayal. As the truth gradually came to light, she discovered that her mother was not dead, and behind her father's cold indifference lay an even deeper secret. Thus began a dark fantasy journey of identity, vengeance, and redemption.
Before the witch clan's curse spread to the town, my mother was sold to the black market by my father, a human woman, exchanged for 10 loaves of bread. Before they dragged her away, she gripped my arm hard enough to leave a mark.
Lyra, go to the North Stronghold. Find Alpha Silas. He's the leader of Iron Moon Pack. He's your real father. He'll take you in!
He will take you in. And because of those words, I embarked on a very long journey. I don't know how long I walked. I was covered in wounds. But when I found Alpha Silas, he was mounted on the most magnificent direwolf I'd ever seen, a small girl cradled in his arms. At the pack boundary, he looked down at me from above.
A hybrid born of a human woman who betrayed me. And you dare claim to be my child?
He savored the fear on my face and said contemptuously,
Go tell your mother this. Even if you're truly my flesh and blood, born from her, you still don't belong in my clan.
I am very hungry and desperately want to get food.
Can I be a beggar then? Could you spare me 1 silver coin to buy a piece of dry bread right now?
He felt as if he had heard a joke.
If you want to beg, send her to do it herself.
He rode his direwolf through the shimmering barrier of the wolf pack's territory and vanished. I was left alone in the snow. That girl, her skin was soft and delicate, as if she had been immersed in milk her whole life. Although fate is unfair, I will never give up. The Beta Gate sentry had dead eyes and a meaner snarl.
What are you staring at?
He slowly approached me, his words full of sarcasm.
The Alpha said you're not fit to enter. Get lost before you contaminate the grounds!
I ran to the alley next to the border wall, crouched in the shadows, pressed one hand against my empty stomach, and stared at the gate. Mother lied. Alpha Silas would never claim me. He had that direwolf and those polished silver bracers, and not 1 coin to spare for a starving child at his door. He said, if you want anything, have your mother come herself. But mother was dead, sold into the flesh market. Dusk bled across the sky. The wind coming off the iron moon cut like a silver blade. I crouched in the alley, watching pack wolves in fine pelts pass through the gates. Alphas and betas and their kept omegas, all of them fed. None of them looking at me. I thought of my mother.
Mama, I'm so hungry.
And I thought about my brother. Gallows had meant to kill me that night. He risked his life to save me.
Sister, run!
Later, when Gallows wasn't watching, I chewed through the rope alone. Snow started to fall, soft and relentless. The cold worked into my bones. Where else can I go? 3 years from the eastern settlements to Iron Moon territory. The war between the witch and the werewolves had soaked the entire continent in blood and hope. And humans were the lowest form of existence in this world. Along the way, to stay alive, I had long since abandoned every shred of dignity. Roots, field rats, scraps from garbage heaps. I kept myself smeared with mud and rot, so nobody could tell what I was at a glance. I wanted my blood father to see something worth acknowledging. I wanted him to claim me so I could use pack resources to avenge my mother and brother. But now, I can't do anything. He hasn't accepted me.
Mama, I'm so useless.
I curled tighter against the wall, snowmelt soaked through my collar. I can only find food in the trash cans of a day. I let my eyes close, just a moment's sleep. But bigger trouble is on its way.
Hey, there's a girl here. Perfect timing. The breeder house on the west side needs fresh omega stock. Young ones. This one'll do.
They grabbed my wrists and ankles. My body was burning with fever, frozen and hollow all at once. I watched the pulse jump in the bigger one's throat,
Lila.
tightened my grip on the shard of bone blade. I'd been hiding in my sleeve. Just as I was about to use it, the sound of wolf hooves shook the street. It turned out that my father had arrived. The two scoundrels were terrified.
Iron Moon.
I was overjoyed. Had he come to save me? Both rogues flinched to their knees by instinct.
What do you think you're doing?
That is what alpha dominance does to lower ranks.
My lord, we were taking the girl to find her some medicine.
Medicine.
He made a sound that promised an ending. Then his eyes landed on my face. The boundary torches caught my features, carved from the same cold template as his own.
Father.
His jaw tightened. Then he laughed.
So it's you. You are just like your mother, weak and powerless.
His tone carried a suppressed fury. When he finished speaking, he turned and rode back through the gate. The heavy boundary seal boomed shut behind him. He abandoned me again. The two scoundrels seemed frightened.
She just called the Alpha. Father?
Above the gate was the Iron Moon tribe's crest, a deep red like aged blood. Something hollowed out in my chest, wide and permanent.
Take me with you.
My heart is dead.
Tonight's snow is heavy. She'll die out here. The breeder house at least has food and a roof.
Maybe we should find a healer first, then...
But she called the Alpha Father!
The boundary gate was kicked open from the inside. Alpha Silas walked out, his face carved from ice.
How are you this worthless?
I closed my eyes. I didn't want to see his face, but he crouched down and gathered me up. In that single instant, I drove the bone blade I'd been saving into his stomach. I looked straight into his disbelieving eyes.
You don't have to claim me. Fine. But if you won't let me live, then we die together.
He went to his knees, one arm locked around my back, the other hand clamped over mine on the blade. Hot blood welled through my fingers, dripped onto the snow. Pack sentries rushed out with silver-tipped polearms, then froze at one glance from him. He looked at me, just looked, for a long, quiet moment. Something shifted in his eyes.
Those eyes.
A flicker of dark, twisted recognition.
Wolf cub eyes.
He agreed with me.
You have some of my blood in you after all. The ferocity, at least. A pity I said nothing about not letting you live.
I glanced toward where the rogues had been, and this so-called Alpha was genuinely formidable.
What a shame.
I understand that to gain his approval, I must be even more ruthless. I looked back at him, ground my teeth. I've decided to give it my all one last time. I plunged the dagger into his body again. He gripped my hand tightly, his grip as strong as iron. I couldn't break free from his wrist at all. Every time I strained, my skull split with pain. A moment later, everything was white. I woke to cold water on my face. Richly furnished chamber, an older female pack servant stood over me, smirking.
Little hybrid bastard. Thinking you deserve to be served? Why didn't you just die?
She grabbed my collar and forced a bowl of cold, congealed fat rock between my lips. The grease hit the back of my throat. I couldn't break the grip, so I drove my heel into the flame instead. The bowl shattered on the floor.
You filthy half-blood!
She grabbed a chair from the bedside and sat on my skull. I rolled, snatched the candle holder, buried the metal spike in my abdomen. The scream brought the whole compound running. The chamber doors slammed open. Alpha Silas stormed in, fuming behind him. A woman led the little Omega girl by the hand. The woman screamed at the sight of the servant, bleeding on the floor.
Where did this Mongol come from, daring to injure a werewolf? Today I'll show you what the rules of werewolves are.
Before her second slap came. I grabbed her arm and bit down on her neck, then spat directly onto her violently heaving chest. She let out a piercing shriek. She scrambled frantically to pull off her clothes, but a number of low-ranking Omegas had just followed her into the room. She couldn't actually strip in front of them, so she could only cry, then grab the child and fled. Alpha Silas's face went cold as iron.
Where is your mother? Tell me right now! I want to know what kind of creature she raised.
I gave him one flat look, turned away from his self-righteous mouth. Leaned over the side of the bed and shoved 2 fingers down my throat. The cold grease came back up across the stone floor. Silence.
That servant was trying to kill me.
I pointed at the cold suit on the floor.
Cold fat broth poured into a starving stomach. That's not nursing technique. That's execution method.
Cold broth. He looked down at the spilled bowl.
The servant was in the wrong, but you had no cause to attack Celine. She is innocent. She is your aunt. She is your mother's younger sister. Her mate died. She's living here under pack protection. Don't invent the same paranoid stories your mother did.
Stories? Her belly says otherwise.
That child's origins are not your concern. You only need to know she poses no threat to you.
He clenched his fists in anger. He scratched his head.
Your mother. Where is she? Whatever monstrous thing she made of you, I intend to tell her myself.
I said nothing.
She's dead.
Flatly, like stating the weather. My face snapped sideways.
You don't say things like that. Not about your own blood.
I raised my hand and stared at the blood-stained bandage around his waist. I should have aimed high. I should have gone for the heart.
The Eastern settlements. 3 years ago, when the witch clan seized control, Gallows sold her into the flesh market.
Another blow before I could brace.
Stop lying. Tomorrow you take me to her. Living or dead, I want proof. I want to see what kind of life she built after she betrayed me.
You couldn't ask for food? You had to let yourself collapse? This is a bid for sympathy?
I did ask, before you recognized me. I asked if you could spare 1 coin. I said I wanted to buy something to eat.
A flicker of something unnatural crossed his face. He remembered.
Call me father.
I didn't say anything. I just looked at him quietly. He narrowed his eyes.
Can't speak? Won't. Then starve!
He stormed out the door in anger. The servant who stayed was small, barely older than me. The moment the door shut, she took a piece of cake and put it in my hand.
I'll sneak more from the kitchen.
I looked at her in surprise. I held the cake under my nose and breathed in, cold but soft, fragrant.
For me?
You're hungry. I can tell. You're older than me, but smaller. You haven't eaten properly in ages.
Not really. At the start, it was 3 days hungry for every 9. At the worst, I eat everything. Does that disgust you?
She smiled, slightly. Then, she hugged me tightly.
You've suffered so much.
It was the first time since my mother and brother died that anyone had touched me with gentleness. I could tell the difference between real and performance. Always could.
At least here there was food.
Her name was Quinn, Eastern Settlements, same as me, a half-blood. She'd fled the collapse with her parents and sold herself into pack service.
Indested service beats the flesh market in a farm year. I'm sorry,
Don't be. You're only saying what's true.
I comforted her. The pack compound bed was obscenely soft, furs thick. Quinn heated water to bring my fever down, and while she worked, she talked.
Once, 5 days without finding food. My father took his own knife and cut into his arm to feed us. Kept us alive long enough to reach Iron Moon territory.
Her father lost the arm to infection. The pack compound wouldn't take a cripple, so he lived in a tent outside the walls, hauling waste from highbloods who wouldn't touch it themselves. Quinn and her mother visited whenever they could. I listened, and said nothing, and felt an ache I had no name for.
Your father is the best father in the world.
If only my mother had found someone like that. But she had no such luck. From as early as I could remember, Gallows would rent her out, because my mother was beautiful. He would have her pretend to be an Omega and go to other households to bear hybrid children for them, since a hybrid status was higher than a human's. If she still refused, he'd grab me by the throat and lift. Then she would go quietly. We were rarely together. I missed her constantly, but every time she came back, she always found 1 piece of sugar somewhere. Pressed it into my hand.
Sweet things make a hard life easier, Lyra.
The next morning, Alpha Silas pressed a palm to my
The
forehead,
fever's down. Put on clothes. You're taking me to your mother.
yanked me from the bed, and told me to get dressed. The stolen clothes didn't fit. Quinn fussed with the lacing, then quietly asked Alpha Silas if she could lend me her.
Your mother still loves her little tricks, trying to make me feel sorry for you. There's nothing she won't stoop to.
He gave me a mildly irritated look, then sent for a trader. 3 sets of clothes arrived, none fit. The trader stared at me and exhaled.
11 years old. This is a child of 8 at most. Nothing but skin and winter wind. My best cuts can't hang on this.
Alpha Silas stared at my wrists. Something complicated moved through his face.
Find something that fits.
The trader came back with plainer cuts. Well-made, warm, with a lynx fur collar. I didn't care about style. After 3 years of single-layer stolen rags, the fox fur lining against my skin was almost too much to process. We were nearly to the pack boundary when Celine appeared. She drifted down the corridor in robes. That particular graceful frailty, that powerful men tend to mistake for virtue. My, what fine fabric. The Alpha is generous, even with those who've shown him no loyalty. Alpha Silas let go of my wrist and vaulted onto his dire wolf, without looking at her.
She carries my blood. Feed her, clothe her, that much is simple.
The resemblance is interesting, but she's undersized. Could be coincidence. Could be your blood. These things require verification, Alpha.
I'll handle it my own way. Once I find her mother, I'll have answers. Your sister went missing 11 years ago.
I've missed my sister.
Perfect. Liar.
11 years. May I come? I'll take good care of Phoebe. I won't get in anyone's way.
He yielded. She won, again. Extra servants crowded carriages. A trap in plain sight. I would not ride with that snake.
Reason.
If you don't want to get hurt, you'd better stay away from me.
I'm worried she'll hurt the child and blame it on me. And I'm worried I won't be able to stop myself from cutting her throat. You're exactly like my sister! Vicious! Paranoid! You can't possibly be his! You must be some bastard your mother conceived with another man after she betrayed the Alpha. Sleep with one eye open. I may come visiting.
Feral hybrid. Come up.
He called me feral. He wasn't wrong. I chose the cold carriage over his games. I'd rather be cold than caged. When Celine approached to board, she was met with the fresh bone blade I'd ground from a broken bowl. The first one, Alpha Silas had confiscated.
Your mother killed herself so they'd let you through my mother's family. After that, you took my mother's betrothed.
I pointed the knife at her.
And then you decided you wanted her Alpha.
That's not... Lion and I loved each other, and I have never with the Alpha. We are completely nothing.
He protected her, always.
Satisfied!
I gave him what he wanted.
My mother is in Ravenmore County, Western Territory.
He didn't say anything.
Let's move.
He just waved his hand. The moment we passed beyond his pack's boundary, his beta had already prepared a new coach. For Celine. Celine came down.
Alpha, you've done too much for me, wasting so many resources on my account again.
It's nothing.
I looked at him with disdain. We walked in the snow for who knows how long. We finally arrived at the first outpost. We went inside. The innkeeper was a one-armed man. He looked at Alpha Silas and went pale.
My lord, welcome. We have rooms prepared.
We all took our seats. Celine sat at the head table, Phoebe on her lap, accepting compliments from the lesser betas. I sat in the corner, watching her.
Eat, miss. It's warm.
She passed me a plate of stew, thin but hot. Then at Celine, laughing softly at something, a guard said. Then at Alpha Silas, who was staring into his wine.
Quinn, do you know who that woman is? Lady Selena. She's the Alpha's companion. And that's her daughter, Phoebe.
I tasted the word. It was bitter.
Companion. And my mother?
Quinn's face fell. I don't know, miss. I'm sorry. I am disappointed. I'm not hungry. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. I slipped from my room and crept toward the stables. As I passed the kitchen, I heard voices, low, familiar. I pressed myself against the wall and listened. A huge conspiracy is about to be uncovered.
The little bitch is asleep. I saw her. She didn't touch her food.
It was Quinn's voice, but the tone was wrong, cold, calculating.
Good. The poison is in the stew. She'll be dead by morning.
And then we can sell she to the market. Alpha Silas won't miss a hybrid.
And the Alpha?
He's sleeping in the east wing. Selena has him wrapped around her finger. He won't notice a thing. Selena's a fool. She thinks she's using us. But once the girl is gone, we'll take the Omega pup and trade her too. Pure blood Omegas fetch a high price.
My blood turned to ice. Quinn, my gentle, kind Quinn. It was all a lie. Every word. I kicked open the kitchen door. and I burst inside. The one-armed innkeeper. I found Alpha Silas in the stables, gently grooming his dire wolf, not noticing my arrival at all. Why didn't you tell me about the poison? I retorting. Would you have believed me? You believe Silas is innocent. You believe my mother is a liar. Why would you believe me? He stopped grooming, turned to face me. His eyes were cold, but not angry.
You killed a pack servant. Without proof, without trial.
He looked at me, really looked. For the first time, I think.
She was going to kill me, and you were sleeping. What would you have done? Held a trial in the morning? While I was dead?
I locked eyes with him.
You're Bimrali. You have your mother's eyes and her temper.
Not as a bastard, not as a nuisance, but as something else, something dangerous. The care seemed to freeze. This was the first time we looked at each other so calmly. No quarrels, no indifference. Only Yendon Spoken's emotions. He reached into his belt and pulled out a knife, not a bone blade, a real knife.
Take it.
I stared at the knife, then at him. Why? He paused.
Because you'll need it. The road ahead is dangerous, and I won't always be there to save you.
I looked down at the knife. I took the knife. The metal was cold in my hand. Thank you. He nodded.
Get some sleep. We ride at dawn.
I turned to leave, then stopped. Alpha Silas.
My name is Lyra. Not hybrid. Not bastard. Lyra.
He was silent for a moment. Then he nodded.
Lyra.
I walked out of the stables. The air was cold, but for the first time in years, I didn't feel the chill. I climbed into the supply carriage. Celine was asleep inside. Phoebe curled against her chest. I looked at them, then at the knife in my hand. I could do it now. Kill them both. But not yet. Not until I had what I wanted. I sheathed the knife and went to sleep. We traveled for 3 days. The landscape grew bleak. After a long journey, we finally arrived at a small town. People stared at our procession. The Alpha on his diary, the lady in her fine carriage, the supply cart with the hybrid bastard. On the 4th day, we stopped at a market town. Alpha Silas went to meet with the local beta. Celine took Phoebe shopping. I was left with the guards. I wandered the market, looking for nothing, just watching. In the afternoon, Alpha Silas ordered the guards to take Celine and Phoebe
Whatever
back
waits
to the
there.
pack first.
They need you safe. Phoebe needs her mother whole. I need to know you are behind walls when I face what comes.
She relented. She took Phoebe and boarded the carriage with the guards. The carriage disappeared into the dust. Silas turned to Lyra.
We ride east. She was last seen near the crumpling spires.
Father and daughter, Alpha and Hybrid, into the bleakening east. We reached Ravenmere County on the 7th day. There is no one here. It was a ghost town. Half the buildings were burned, the rest were falling down. The air smelled of ash and rot. Alpha Silas looked around.
This is where she lived.
Yes. This is where Gallows sold her.
We rode to the edge of town, to a small house, or what was left of it. The roof was gone, the walls were crumbling, weeds grew through the floor. I slowly walked in. The memories hit me like a physical blow. My mother, singing, my brother, laughing, Gallows, drunk and angry, the night he sold her. I fell to my knees. The dust was wet. It had been raining, or maybe it was my tears. I didn't know. I couldn't stop. Alpha Silas stood in the doorway. He didn't come in.
Where is she?
She's here.
I looked up. My face was streaked with mud and tears. Alpha did not believe.
I don't see her.
She's here. In the ground.
I started digging. With my hands, the earth was soft, wet. Alpha Silas watched. He didn't help. He just watched. After an hour, I hit something. Bone. Small, fragile. I pulled it out. A child's rib, then another.
These aren't hers. These are a child's.
My brother. Gallows killed him. And buried him here. With her.
I kept digging deeper. The rain fell harder. I didn't care. I found a skull. Small. Broken.
Mama.
This isn't her.
What?
This is a child's skull. Your mother was an adult. These bones are too small.
Then where is she?
I don't know. But I'll find her. And when I do, I'll kill Gallows.
I'll help you.
Good. Because you're the only one who knows what he's capable of.
We buried the bones, my brother's bones, in a shallow grave behind the house. I didn't have a marker, just a stone. I need to find my mama, so I must pretend to get close to him and his wolf clan.
Lyra,
He spoke, slowly.
you're coming with me. To Iron Moon Pack.
Perfect for me.
Yes, Father.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share.